Say hello to IronmanRM, my Ironman shop. After reaching every late game goal on my main after over a year and a half of play and thousands of hours, it was time to up the ante. A Shop Titans account unlike any other. The rules are simple. Absolutely no access to market whatsoever. Gems can only be used to rush furniture or open chests. No unlocking anything with gems. I must wait to unlock at certain levels with gold. No joining a guild unless I am in the top half of players and vests. And lastly, I will have access to Royal Merchant and the Academy, so I can create runestones for enchantments and repair the gear that I will inevitably need to craft for my own heroes. I do not know what lies ahead, but I am so excited for a brand new challenge with obstacles to overcome. I hope you are too. Let's go. Hey everyone, welcome to episode 9 of the Shop Titans Iron Man series. It has actually been quite a while since I've recorded anything for this, since I ended the last episode, but here's kind of where we're at, just over 2 and 1 billion respectively. We finished Lost City of Gold a couple of days ago and actually got the 30,000, which is pretty crazy for our guild, but super happy there. So we're just going to claim our final reward here for the 25,000. So that's excellent. We've got King's Caprice coming up in a couple of days here as well. And so our plan is actually not to level to 58 before we get to Tower of Titans, because once you get to 58, then I'll be in the next tower. And so I think I can finish almost all of the tower on the gamma difficulty. And so we're going to try to stick with that. And so in the meantime, we'll get as close as we can to 58. Just stack our inventory as much as we can with a ton of valuable items. Right now we're working on just finishing gold value for all of the tier 7s and having all of the tier 8s unlockable, so that when we do get to 60 and start adding tier 3 bins and moving on to tier 8, tier 9 type stuff, that at least this is done. And so if you look, I have about 11 items left that I haven't started yet and 3 more on the go. So we're just over halfway done now with the items, including the chest ones that I got, things like that. So that's looking really good. Once I get too close, XP wise, we'll probably just finish mastering all of our tier 7 enchantments, and like I said, just stack our inventory as much as we can with as many valuable items as we can. We've already started stacking valuable items for XP and gold once we're ready to move on with 58 and keep upgrading chests so that we have even more storage. So it'll kind of just be powering up over the next 10 days, not a ton in terms of like trying to get a lot of XP, that sort of thing, but just getting our inventory as nice as possible. As well, I did actually misclick and added a hero slot by accident for 75 million. So we ended up getting a Berserker. Let's see if I can find it. There we go. So we did get this Berserker kind of by accident. So that costed us 80 million total with buying the actual hero. And so that brings our total gold that we need once we finally hit level 60 down to 420 million for both heroes, our shop expansion, our crafting slot, our quest slot, and then of course there'll be a little bit more than that with putting out tier 3 bins and that sort of thing. But we're looking at making sure that we at least have the 420 million. Well, good morning everyone. It is 3.5 days from tower, 3.5 days until we can hit level 58 finally. We've been holding off on this for a while, and let me show you what we've been up to. We just finished all level 11 trunks last night, just to give me as much storage as possible. In terms of crafting, we only have 2 more items left, the Lux Dagger and these gauntlets, which I got from a chest, and every single tier 7 in the game has the gold increase done and the tier 8 unlockable. So that's to the point that I'm happy with it. That's all that I wanted in terms of item mastery. So I'm very happy with that. All of those are done. And so now basically we're just stacking our inventory as full of value as physically possible for the next 3.5 days. Of course, doing Caprice at the same time. If you see my inventory here, we're almost full on items. We're only 17 items away. This is sorted by value, and other than these 3 gauntlets, my cheapest item is 75k and everything else is more. And that's at least, 650 items. And so we're just going to keep doing that, keep making enchantments, putting them on items, and increasing the value of inventory as much as possible. Once tower starts, planning on doing our longest stream ever on Saturday, hitting level 58, basically with our first item, hopefully, and then doing a nice sprint towards level 60. We'll see how far we actually get, but because we're still going to be in Gamma Tower, I'm thinking we're going to be able to get at least 24 or 27 floors done, depending on how things go. Get 2 new heroes at 100 and 125 mil, and then be able to save up the 250 or whatever we need, 260 for all of the level 60 slots. So things are looking really good. Basically from this point on, we're just going to keep up with Caprice. We've got 1 day left, and we're going for our 6.5 mil reward. So getting pretty close here. Just got to get that done in the next day and a half, and just be waiting it out for Tower. So yeah, that's pretty much it for now. Looking forward to talking through everything that's going to be happening at level 60. Going to be adding a bunch more bins, and the play style will be completely changing from what it is now to more of just an XP focused style of play. But I will talk about all of that stuff when we actually get to that point. So anyway, that's it, and I will see you when Tower finally starts. Let's go. Well, Tower of Titans is less than 2 days away. Just finished King's Caprice and got our 6.5 mil and our Ascension Shards, which is amazing. That was the big goal. We pushed hard for it and got it within a few hours of the event ending. So very happy that we finished that off, which is really nice. Well, just got our new record of longest stream ever, hit 12 hours, and got our level 58 and an extra 68.4 million XP in. It took a good 10 hours to get this much XP, so I think it would be like another 9 hours or so till we hit level 59, so obviously that wasn't going to happen today. But for Tower, this is floor 16, so cruising pretty good on Tower. In terms of selling, we used almost all of our enchantments, and we're down to 525 items, so sold through, you know, a good number of really expensive items, and we still have lots that we can still enchant and stuff like that. Spent 100 mil on another new hero, and we've got another one for 150 mil, plus our shop expand and all that kind of stuff. We did a basement upgrade as well, and we rushed probably about 10 upgrades here as well to get all of these to level 11. So spent a ton of gold today and still have 230 mil left over, so it's a little ridiculous. But once we get to 50, or once we get to level 60, hopefully within the next week, now that we don't have to go any slower, then it should be a pretty smooth ride and we can finally hit 60. So by the way, here's all of the tier 11 items that we got to reveal today on stream as well, so pretty sweet. And I'll see you guys in a couple days, hopefully when we're very, very close to 60, or at least finishing up Tower, so I can show you how far we got. So see you then. Well, here we are 11 hours away from our 3rd month of Royal Merchant finishing, so essentially we are on day 90 on the account, and I was really hoping to get level 60 today. Was going to make a run at it. We're about 40 million XP short, and we're pretty much out of items. We just have a few, but really, other than just like a few tier 8s that we just started crafting, that's kind of all that we have. And so we're probably going to come up short. We've got Resource Fest on right now as an event, and we also started boosts as well. So we got Resource Boost, Craft Boost, and XP. But I sold through all my items super fast, and we're not going to hit it in time. I really wanted it in the first 3 months, but that's okay. We're super close. We've got enough gold to pay for all of our upgrades and our new hero and everything. So things are going well, and basically just going to keep sprinting. Obviously, things look a lot different in terms of our bins, but I just want to rush XP and craft as many items as possible. And so this is basically going to be our bin setup from this point until end game. We may add 2 more of each tier 3 bin as we get into like tier 9, tier 10 area, because obviously we're going to need those. But as soon as we get another expand, we'll be adding either 4 or 8 bins back, because we put a bunch of those away. We went from 2200 energy down to 1200, but this is just going to get us XP faster. I'm not even surcharging everything. I'm literally just like small talking, selling things normally, and then just rushing crafts like as much as possible. So things look definitely different than they have been, but this is going to be what things look like probably from this point on as we rush towards level 75. But next episode, I'm going to spend some time really just digging into what this account is going to look like from this point on, and how it's going to look different than probably the majority of other people's gameplay. But just it's because of the specific goals that I have on this account that it's going to look that way. So anyways, for crafting, we have 9 more tier 7s that aren't completely mastered, and everything else is completely done. Just got another tier 6 blueprint, but these are kind of the rest that we have. I'm planning on just sticking with this rotation tier 8s until we hit level 60, just so I can get that done as soon as possible. And then as we're waiting for the actual expansion to finish, then I'll finish mastering the rest of the tier 7s. So getting pretty close to completely finishing tier 7 and below, and getting into tier 8s now. So pretty pumped for hitting that level 60, getting our final expand before this account is done. And of course the crafting slot and quest slot and hero slot and all that stuff that comes along with that. So that's pretty much it for now, and I'll see you when we finally hit that lovely level 60. Oh baby, let's go. Level 60. All right, cool. So finally we hit level 60. There we go. It is official. So now it is time to spend the gold. We have 400, well, almost 400 million out of the 415 million that we need total for everything. But here we go. So design, expand. The next part of the donut, 200 million gold. There it is. 3 days time. We have our next crafting slot, so I'll just make 3 of these. Crafting slot, there's 10 million. We have our 8th, beautiful. We go to city. We have our next quest slot for 50 million gold. Beautiful, so I can start the next one. There it is, 155 million gold. Beautiful. Let's do it. Add hero slot, 150 mil. Spellcaster. Our first Geo, we're gonna go with Ajax for 5 mil. There he is. It's beautiful. We'll be putting out 4 more tier 3s, so 2 ether, 2 jewel right here, and then probably 4 more racks will be sitting around 1600 energy. And after that, basically we're just sprinting XP until 75. This is our last tier 7 and below that needs to be mastered, and we are finally into tier 8s and a tier 9 dagger as well. And so we'll be fully moving into tier 3 resources, which is why we'll be adding more, and then obviously working on our invest. So that will be it for this episode of IronmanRM. And next one, we'll go into depth with basically my strategy on what things are going to look like for the next, well, I don't know, several months until we finally hit 75. So there we go. Excited to see this finally finished, and we'll go from there.